Good morning, students. This is Arvind Dobrial, and you all are welcome to the e-learning portal of Cambridge International School, Daswa. We are reading the supplementary reader, that is Moments. So the chapter that we will read today is The Last Leaf, written by O. Henry. Before starting the chapter, let's have a quick recap of Weathering the Storm in Arsama that we have read in our previous video. We read that Prashant went to his friend's house in Arsama on 27th of October 1999. It was 7 years after his mother's death. In the evening there came a superstorm. Heavy and continuous rain filled the darkness. Trees were uprooted. The water entered his friend's house. The speed of the wind was 350 km per hour. Everything was destroyed. Prashant and his friend's family had taken refuge on the roof. Prashant was greatly shocked to see huge sheet of water all over. Houses were broken, dead animals and human bodies floated everywhere. 2 coconut trees had fallen on the house of Prashant's friend. Its tender coconut kept them alive for several days. For the next 2 days, Prashant sat huddled on the rooftop with his friend's family. They were nearly frozen by the cold winds. He thought of his family and decided to go. He was worried about his family. He got a strong stick and started on his 18-kilometer journey to his village. Prashant waded through the water. On the way, he found 2 friends of his uncle. They had to push away dead bodies of human beings and animals to move ahead. There were hardly any house left in the village they passed. Prashant kept thinking that no one in his family would have survived. Finally, he reached his village, Kalikuda. The remnants of the roof was the only thing left of his house. He went to the Red Cross shelter and saw his maternal grandmother and his whole family there. Prashant decided to assess the damage and the danger awaiting the survivors. He organized a group of youths of his village. They made a fire and cooked rice taken from the local merchant and decided to clean up the place of filth, urine, and floating dead bodies. On the 5th day, a military helicopter dropped food, but it didn't return. They deputed children lie there. Finally, they got food through airdropping. Prashant became a savior. He made a shelter for orphaned children and asked the women and children to join the Food for Work program. It was started by an NGO. He engaged other volunteers to help widows to start their lives and settle the orphans. 6 months passed since the storm, and now finally Prashant had time to think of himself. The widows and orphaned children thought of him only in their hours of distress. Now, after the quick recap, let's read the chapter The Last Leaf by O. Henry. First of all, I would like to tell you something about the author. William Sidney Potter, better known by his pen name O. Henry, was born on September 11, 1862 in Greensboro, North Carolina, and he was died on 5th June 1910 in New York City, US. O. Henry was an American short story writer. His stories are known for their surprise ending. His most prolific writing period started in 1902 when he moved to New York City to be near his publishers. While there, he wrote 381 short stories. He wrote a story a week for over a year for the New York World Sunday magazine. His wit, characterization, and plot twists were adored by his readers but often panned by critics. He was a heavy drinker and by 1908 his markedly deteriorating health affected his writing. In the year 1909, his wife Sarah left him and he died on June 5th, 1910 of cirrhosis of liver, complications of diabetes, and an enlarged heart. After funeral services in New York City, he was buried in the Riverside Cemetery in Asheville, North Carolina. The story is based on the theme that life is precious and faith and hope should never be lost. We come across many hindrances in life and they should be overcome by fighting back in high spirit. Depression can lead to disaster even when the situation is not bad. Another theme that runs through the story is that devoted friendship can be succor during the times of crisis. A minor theme of the story is the importance of art in human lives. The old painter knowingly sacrifices his life in the urge to create a masterpiece. And now, the explanation part. Two girls by the names of Sue and Johnsy lived together in a small flat. They were artists. The flat was on the third floor of an old house. In the month of November, Johnsy was struck by pneumonia. She remained in bed and would look out of the window. Sue was worried about Johnsy and called the doctor. The doctor visited them daily, but there was no improvement in Johnsy's health. One day, the doctor took Sue aside and asked her, "Is anything worrying Johnsy?" Sue replied that there was nothing to worry and asked why did the doctor think so. The doctor said that it seemed that Johnsy had decided not to live and did not want to recover from illness. In such a case, medicines would not work on her. Sue tried to liven up Johnsy. She discussed interesting things like clothes and fashion with her, but Johnsy remained unaffected. She lay in bed. Sue sat beside her and started painting in order to create interest in her and take her mind off her illness. Sue would whistle at times to brighten up Johnsy. Sue heard that Johnsy was speaking softly. Johnsy was making a backward counting while looking out of the window. Sue was curious and looked outside. She saw an ivy creeper plant beside the window of the room. As the strong winds were blowing, the leaves of the creeper were falling. Sue asked her what the matter was. Johnsy said 6. Then she said that the leaves were falling faster. She added that 3 days ago there were a lot of leaves on the ivy creeper, almost 100, but now only 5 were left. Sue replied that it was autumn season and it was natural for the creeper to shed its leaf. Johnsy said that she would die when the last leaf fell. She added that she had known this for the last 3 days. Sue replied that this did not make any sense. The leaves had nothing to do with her health. The doctor was sure that she would recover. Johnsy did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup. Johnsy did not accept the soup. She was not hungry. Then she said that 4 leaves were remaining on the ivy plant. She wanted to see the last leaf fall before sunset and then she could die peacefully. Sue tried to show affection towards Johnsy. She said that Johnsy would not die. She kept the curtain open because she needed the light to complete the painting. she would sell it to fetch money for them, and she requested Johnsy not to look out of the window. Johnsy agreed and asked Sue to finish the painting so that she could be in time to see the last leaf fall off the ivy plant. She was tired of waiting to see it fall. She wanted to die and was tired just like the poor tired ivy leaves. Sue asked her to try to get some sleep. As she had to paint an old miner, she would call upon their neighbor Berman to be a model for her. She went downstairs to the ground floor of the house where Berman lived. Berman was a 60-year-old painter. He aspired to paint a masterpiece. Sue discussed Johnsy's condition with him. She said that Johnsy was sure that she would die when the last leaf fell off the ivy plant. Bowman commented that Johnsy was being silly. Sue said that Johnsy was suffering from high fever. She was not eating too. Sue was worried about her. Bowman went to see Johnsy. They entered the room very quietly. Johnsy was asleep. Sue drew the curtain and they went to the adjoining room. Sue looked out of the window. There was only one leaf left on the creeper plant. There was heavy rain accompanied by strong and cold winds. The leaf was due to fall any moment. Bowman did not say anything and went back to his room. The next morning, Johnsy woke up and in a weak voice asked Sue to open the curtain. Sue was worried and hesitantly drew them back. Sue was glad as she announces that there still was one leaf on the creeper. It appeared green and healthy. It hadn't fallen despite the storm. Johnsy said that she had heard the winds the previous night. She had thought that the last leaf would definitely fall. She added that it would fall that day for sure and then she would die too. Sue said that Johnsy would not die. She had to live for her friends. She added that she would become lonely if Johnsy died. Johnsy smiled and closed her eyes. She was weak. After almost every hour, she would look out if the leaf was still there or not. It seemed that the leaf was stuck to the creeper. There was another storm that evening, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy kept on looking at it and then she called Sue. Johnsy said that she had been a bad girl. Sue looked after her while she did not cooperate and remained sad. The last leaf had made her realize her mistake. She said that the desire to die was a wrong one. Sue was glad to see the change in Johnsy. She got soup for her, gave her a mirror to tidy her hair. Johnsy was now happy and bright. The doctor visited that afternoon and said that the desire to live was back in Johnsy. He was sure that she would recover now. He went downstairs to check Berman, who was suffering from pneumonia, and there was no hope that he would recover. The next morning, Sue sat beside Johnsy and told her that Berman died that morning. He had been ill for the last 2 days. The caretaker of the building had found him in his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had gone out that night during the storm. A ladder and a lantern were lying near his bed. Paint brushes, green and yellow colored paint, were also lying nearby. Sue asked Johnsy to look at the leaf. It did not flutter when the wind blew. It was the masterpiece that Bowman aspired to paint. When the last leaf fell at that night, he painted this one. Now, the message outcome of this story. The chief message that this story gives is the spirit of sacrifice we need to have in our life. The old artist Bowman sacrificed his life so that Johnsy could live. In this process, he also achieved his ambition of painting a masterpiece. The other message is that we should have a positive attitude in life. Johnsy was under depression and she felt her life was linked to the leaves of the ivy creeper. This prevented her from getting better from her illness. She was also causing harm to her friend Sue. Had she adopted a positive attitude, Bowman would not have died. Our thinking and attitude affect the lives of other people too. Now, dear students, I am going to conclude what we have read today. Today, we have read that Sue and Johnsy were two young artists. They lived together in a small flat. It was situated on the third story of an old house. Johnsy fell seriously ill in the month of November. She had pneumonia. Sue was worried. She sent for the doctor, but the doctor told Sue that Johnsy had lost the will to live. Medicines will not help her. Sue tried her best to make Johnsy's interest in the things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. She also whistled while painting. Johnsy looked at an ivy creeper outside. It was shedding its leaf because it was autumn season. Johnsy was counting backward from 12 onwards. Sue asked what it was all about. Johnsy told her that she would die with the falling of the last leaf. It would happen in 3 days. Sue called it nonsense and she also told her that she would be all right soon. But it did not affect on Johnsy. Bowman was an old painter. He lived on the ground floor. He was 60 years old. He had a dream that one day he would paint a masterpiece. But he had no success so far. Sue told Bowman about Johnsy's strange fancy. Both he and Sue went to Johnsy's room. Johnsy was sleeping. They saw that ivy creeper had only one leaf left on it. It was raining and it seemed that the last leaf would fall any time. Johnsy awoke from her sleep. She looked out of the window. She looked at the last leaf. She asked Sue to look at it. It was green and healthy. Johnsy looked at the leaf every hour, but it did not fall, even in the stormy evening. This revived a will to live in Johnsy. Johnsy accused herself. She called Sue and she admitted in front of her that she had been a bad girl. She told Sue that she was very wicked. The last leaf had shown her the same. Now she felt that it was a sin to want to die. She then asked for a mirror. She had lots of hot soup also. The next morning, Sue told Johnsy about Bowman. Bowman was ill for only 2 days. The guard found him on his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet. He was shivering in the stormy night. That night, he painted the last leaf on the wall. He had got pneumonia and died. Sue asked her if she had not wondered why the last leaf had not fluttered. She told her that the last leaf was Bowman's masterpiece. He painted it the night the last leaf fell. Now, on the basis of your understanding the chapter, I have some questions for you. I hope you will do all these questions by yourself. So, till the next class we meet, take care of yourself and keep studying. Thank you.